No, that's good. Good. This is my little flapper. I see that, and I know that's where I'm starting. Hi, Todd from Woodturning Tool Store here with you. I'm here with Rudy Lopez from Tampa area in Florida. Rudy was out here for a demo and a weekend's worth of classes. I took a couple of days of classes. So just so quickly, I'm the treasurer of the Dallas Area Woodturners Club, and so I help coordinate some of this stuff as well. So, you know, working with the treasurer, you know you're going to get paid, right?
That's right. As I told him, it's my best friend.
Yeah, there you go. So I just wanted to introduce you folks to Rudy Lopez. I'm sure a lot of you know who he is. He's been demonstrating for 10 years or so, you said?
Yep.
And so what got you started into wood turning first?
Well, Todd, the gift of a friend one time for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Given a natural edge bowl, and I've heard stories, other people have said the same thing. So I got a natural edge bowl for Christmas, and kind of started the interest. I had wood turned, as some of us have, back in junior high school,
Right,
way
yeah.
back in the day.
Shop class.
Shop class at junior high, and never had seen natural edge. And I thought, this is a really interesting oval bowl. And as
Yeah.
a lot of us wood turners know now, it's not really oval, because we have to turn around things on the lathe. But I started researching on the internet and everything, and was lucky enough to go up to North Carolina to the Carolina Mountain Wood Turners meeting.
Okay.
And I met a lot of good people up there that quickly pointed out, well, it's not really round, or it's not really oval, it's round.
Right.
So that's kind of got me started, and then met some people at the Florida Wood Turning Symposium, and sort of never looked back, just kind of love it.
Let it go from there. Well, that's you know, that's one of the key things is finding a local source for inspiration. Your local turning chapter, symposiums. It took me probably 4 years of turning on my own before I joined the Dallas Area Woodturners. And then once I did that, it just opened up a whole new world, because
Exactly.
there's so many people doing the same thing, and you've got so many people to talk to and learn from. So, who was your biggest influence then, from
I
a
was
learning
lucky.
perspective?
I was lucky enough to join the first people I met at the Florida Wood Turning Symposium was Don Geiger,
Okay.
and then Ron Browning. He ended up being my mentor and teacher when I first started, and I was very lucky because I had a lot of. Well, first thing he told me was, "Here's an AAW membership,
Yeah.
and here's your local club. So join, as you said, join a club. There's great information there. We have, as everybody knows, monthly meetings, and you get to see great demonstrators." And I've got to say, one of the greatest demonstrators the first person I saw demonstrate was Al Hockenberry,
Okay.
and his wife Sherry Hockenberry as well. So they're in our club, and as a lot of you know them, they've been very active in the AAW.
Yes.
And very good teachers. So I've got a lot of good instruction starting out from our club. It's like, you know, good when you have a local membership that can help you out and teach a lot. So that's very important.
Yeah, perfect. And so once you learn sort of the turning and what you can do with it, what made you turn to sort of demonstrating and teaching others?
That's a good one. I got into demonstrating about the same way I became president of our club.
Oh, okay.
You're the new kid, and you know, kind of, you go to the bathroom, you come back out, you hear applause, and you're the president.
Yeah, so you're not present for the voting,
Right.
Yeah.
But same thing. The guys of our club were active in the Florida Wood Turning Symposium, and they need to get demonstrators. So after a few years of kind of a couple of local demos at our club and everything, they asked me to demonstrate at the Florida Wood Turning Symposium. So the Florida Wood Turning Symposium was definitely instrumental in giving me the, first, good chance at kind of a little public demonstrating in a broader venue. And then Utah Wood Turning Symposium, Dale Mish, very instrumental in giving a lot of new turners an
Craft
opportunity.
Supply founder.
Craft Supplies, exactly.
Yeah.
And he invited me out to, he was actually demonstrating at our Florida Symposium when I demonstrated, and we shared a room.
Oh, cool.
Which, not much more intimidating than sharing a room with Dale
First time
Mish.
demonstrator.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he's sitting in the front row watching me demonstrate
Yeah.
every rotation. But afterwards, he invited me out to Craft Supplies for the Utah Symposium, so
nice.
that kind of got it going. Yeah.
Perfect. And that was, you said, about, what, 8-10 years ago?
2009, I believe it was.
Yeah, so 9 years ago.
Yeah.
So
2008, yeah.
perfect. So now this is really your full-time job at this point, correct?
Fortunately, it has come along at a good time. At my main job used to be commercial photography, which still is, but that market dropped off considerably about 9 or 10 years ago when I started the demonstrations.
Right.
And things have kind of just grown from there. I've been lucky enough to be invited to several AAW symposiums, and it just started the ball rolling, and do travel around. So yes, now that is pretty much my main.
Cool. And you also have a shop and a fairly good little studio at your home base in Florida.
Exactly.
So Learn to Turn Fundamentals by Rudy Lopez. He's got little pamphlets here. Check his website out. It's actually rudolphlopez.com, and you can learn more about taking some woodturning classes from Rudy. So how has that been going for you, the teaching?
Really well. You always, hopefully it goes pretty good, but it's kind of been almost better than I expected. I'm getting quite a bit of, because I've been doing this, as you said, for probably 10 years or so, and teaching at Aeromont
Right.
and John C. Campbell.
Good,
And
yeah.
just got an invite to teach out at Mark Adams.
Oh,
So
you're
that's,
you're getting
I
all the
suppose
big,
that's what
big
I'm,
spots,
yeah,
so
I'm
that's
looking
good.
forward to doing that. That was a great invite. Yeah, a lot of promotion and opportunities to teach, and then I figured I'd try this and stay, as the wife wants me home a little bit more than on the road,
Yes,
because we
yeah.
do spend a lot of time on the road. A lot of you know, a lot of the demonstrators spend quite a bit of time traveling.
Yeah.
And I still love it. As long as I can do it, I'll definitely travel and teach at the schools, but be able to stay home a little bit and have a nice studio setup has been pretty nice, but going well.
Oh, good, excellent. So, so with your teachings, you've got certain fundamentals you like to teach people. So, what? Give me, I don't know. I'm going to put you on the spot. Give me 3 cardinal rules that you have in woodturning.
When I start teaching, and I was lucky enough with my friend Ron Browning when he started instructing me, started me on beads and coves.
Yeah.
And it's, a lot of you out there probably have heard that, but, and I'm telling you, I know you hate
Those
it.
damn beads and coves, spindle turning.
Jimmy
It's,
Clues will tell you,
yeah.
beads and coves, mate, beads and coves.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's been asked, I've been asked, Stuart Batty's been asked, and
Yeah.
a lot of people, what do you think's the most important? And it's the fundamentals. It's learning good tool technique.
Yeah.
And I tell people when I first start a lot of my demos and things that I do, teach people, I think, the 3 most important things. And number 1 is sharp tools.
Right.
You gotta have sharp tools. It makes the tool function correctly without stress and pressure and all that. Good bevel supported cuts. When you understand the concept of how the bevel functions to control the cut, that's very important,
Yes.
which spindle work teaches you.
It does.
Skew work teaches you that.
But you don't carry a skew.
I don't have a
demo.
skew. I have something that looks like a skew,
Yeah.
but it's a negative rake scraper. Everybody says, well, that was a skew. I said, not really, but
We'll call it that. And
that's
say it's got
right,
a
that's
skew,
right. But I learned to use the skew, and yeah, I can roll beads with the skew and whatnot, left-handed or right-handed, sort of. Ron taught me that, and I'm glad he did, because that was the thing. So sharp tools, bevel-supported cuts, and then what I say, good tool control. And you can't have good tool control without the previous 2.
Right.
So that's what it comes down to, and good tool control comes from practice.
Yeah, and so good 3 sort of main points of woodturning, and we always want to stress safety in the shop. So use your dust extraction, use your face mask and face shield when you're turning. So you use a bowl gouge at a 60-degree bevel and the 40-degree bevel
Right.
bowl gouge as well. So a little bit difference for those 2 tools. Which ones do you prefer when, and when do you use the other one?
60 degree, I call it the workhorse, which most of us, it's a bulk removal tool. You can do a lot of great finish cuts with it. You can do your shear scraping and all that. But a lot of times on my finer, thinner wing bowls, a lot of times when I'm going thin or cutting into a bowl on a natural edge bark edge or something like that, I do go to the 40 degree, which is just a more acute bevel. And it gives you just a sharper, cleaner entry. And a lot of times on problematic woods, when they're a little punky or a little soft, your 60 degree coming in at that blunt 60 degree angle tends to pull grain a little bit more. So the 40 degree, as a lot of the turners will say, it just cuts cleaner because it's just a sharper cutting edge. You
Right.
think of meat cleaver and a 60 degree fillet knife with a 40 degree. That's kind of the way I kind of look at it.
Oh, cool. So You know, I don't want to take up too much more time. We got to leave fairly early in the morning to get him to the airport, to get him back home.
Good thing about hosts, they get you to the airport at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, there you go. So it's been a great 3 days spending time with you, and we've been happy to have you. Just parting thoughts on where you think you're going to go with woodturning, and where do you think woodturning is going to go in general?
Hopefully, I'll be just continuing what I'm doing and trying to just spread the joy, you might say, of woodturning, and try to give people good instruction, which I had the benefit of, and try to increase the ability so that your woodturning is safer and more fun and just easier. I tell everybody it's just a hobby for most people. Enjoy it, just be safe with it. Where it's going to go, that's anybody's question. It's just astounding in just the 10, 12 years that I've been doing this. My first National Symposium and the Instant Gallery, mostly, as some of us say, brown and round.
Right.
There was some embellishing, a little bit going on, and now it's sky's the limit.
Yeah, there's
So
all
it's
kinds
just
of, not only kind of new sort of ways of looking at turning, but new ways of using turning in other
right,
art.
and
So,
multimedia, doing different types of mediums and incorporating them together. As we were talking about, Todd and I were talking about using glass or incorporating. I've incorporated some ceramics or metal for stands or for pieces, and a lot of people have. So yeah, just go to symposiums, and also they say watch the YouTube.
Yeah, there's all kinds
There's
of
good stuff
inspiration.
and there's bad stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Rudy, it's been really a pleasure having you here. I really appreciate your time you've taken to do this for me.
Hey, not a problem. Glad to do it.
You take care.
Enjoy.
Okay, thanks everybody. Be sure to watch the newsletter and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll get back with you soon. Bye for now.
Perfect. Sounds good, man.
Thanks.
Well, that maybe don't
Oh,
have to
we
edit
weren't
too much
recording.
out.
No.
Yeah, I was looking for the red light.
Yeah, it's here.
You could always